Hi everybody, this isn't really a movie-centric video for the week, so feel free to skip it if you're only here for the movie chat. I apologise, I don't have anything that's really dropped through my letterbox in the past couple of weeks actually, and I am going to see Sinners, but that is happening tonight. So I was going to wait until tomorrow to give a hot take on Sinners at the same time as I did my review for that on my blog. But it's been too long. Our Sunday podcast video episode seems to be stuck in processing limbo on YouTube. No doubt it will appear as soon as I upload this. I know I didn't do a video last week, so I just figured I would try and do something. So yeah, and what to do. Well, I hope some of you have been enjoying The Last of Us, the show. I think it is very good. I really enjoyed both games, and the second game is pretty sort of epic and interesting. And I like the fact that episode 2 of the show took things in quite a interesting direction so soon, especially for those who haven't played the video game. So no spoilers here, and if you do comment, please no spoilers in the chat. So that's something. I've also been watching The Studio on Apple TV. I can't recall if I mentioned this on the podcast, but I'm not a big fan. I don't see why that's getting so much love. And this is from someone who's really enjoyed a lot of the Apple TV shows. Dave and I on the podcast have been discussing it anyway. He's made his comparisons, and my main comparison is it is reliant on some admittedly good cameos, but is essentially a lighter reworking of the player with someone in the lead role who has 1,000 times less charisma and screen presence than Tim Robbins. So I'm just not won over by that at all. I'll keep on. I don't know how many episodes are in the first season. I will stick with it. I'll probably end up watching a second season because at least it's shortish episodes and I enjoy the cameos, but it's not good. Anything else? Anything been happening in the news? Anything major? No, sort of. I guess I did this build today, this Lego build. I'm still working on the Home Alone house, the McAllister house, but there's one piece missing, as far as I know. So I had to contact Lego, and there's a little form you fill in, order the piece. So I've done that, but I couldn't make any more progress at the moment. So I decided to do this, which took me about a half an hour to build, and is really lovely. And yeah, it's really nice. I think it's called Everyone Is Awesome, and that's right. Those people are just like different colours and standing along a spectrum. It's almost as if there's a wonderfully positive message in that more people should heed. There would be idiots that will see that in a Lego store and probably think, go woke, go broke. I'm pretty sure Lego is doing great business. I can't imagine them not being one of the biggest sort of non-video game toy companies. And you have Legolands and stuff and all the stores dotted about. So to those people I say, and I've also seen reports on the news about one of the big stores in America, one of the big businesses that followed along with the latest government activity against DEI. They've been seeing their footfall and profits drop for about 10 weeks straight. So once again, that tends to go against the go woke, go broke crowd. Once again, That'll be nice when I make it into a thumbnail for the video, just with my face like that. Yeah, it's absolute nonsense out there, you know. Theresa May visited the Queen a few years ago and she died. J.D. Vance visited the Pope and the Pope died. I think that gives you a measure of the calibre of the people who are so incompetent and damaging. I know it's just coincidental, but, you know, let's make a conspiracy theory out of that one. The nonsense being spewed by RFK Jr. is ridiculous. Look, I've mentioned before about people being dear to me and having a right to live. I've mentioned that specifically in relation to trans individuals and anyone along the spectrum of sexuality who are having their lives and love repressed and having others trying to erase their existence. The fact that this is now looking to be a situation that they can port over to anyone with autism, and particularly targeting things that will cause autistic children is distressing, and will be distressing for those who have anyone with autism in their lives, anyone on the spectrum. There is a wide variety, more so than I have knowledge of. And unlike some people who get to have a platform on any segment of the media and spew their views all over us while we're just sat there picking little flakes of carrot off, I am not going to pretend to be an expert. I have some personal experiences with people who have been on the spectrum with autism. I think, you know, I think RFK Jr. is speaking from a place of ignorance, particularly when he lists things that he didn't know about in childhood, which simply shows how little he knew in his childhood. But also, if you're in charge of health and medicine and anything related to science, you know that that is an ongoing progression. That is what scientists do. That is what the medical field does. That is what doctors do. So shut up and let them do their jobs as effectively as they can. Sorry, it's been a bad time because I now live in the north of England, and I know that here in the UK we are going to get campaigning in this area from just someone whose name I don't even want to mention, because they are a coattail riding, publicity seeking snake oil salesman. That's what they are, and they will make a gain here because people are unhappy and people are, you know, rightly so, fretting about their wage, the cost of things, including electricity, gas, and water. The way communities and towns and cities have been left to run down while trickle down economics keeps not trickling down, and it's ridiculous at this point. So this lean towards the right and this constant push of ignorance and hatred and division makes some people, myself certainly included, push more towards you know, acceptance of others and trying to be like an optimistic liberal and being intolerant of intolerance. Because I used to sort of shrug more and let things go, but now, I think I've said this before as well, I think now it is more incumbent upon us all who are able to voice concerns, to voice those concerns, and to voice dissenting opinions against unfounded prejudice and bigotry, because those people who are being targeted and picked on are genuinely becoming more and more frightened to speak up, because they already have their card marked, as we've seen in the news over recent weeks. So our podcast will always be very open and inclusive, and that is despite us sounding like idiots sometimes. And if you don't like it, don't listen and leave and stay in whatever dank little corner you want to stay in, like some kid that's been picked by the Blair Witch. Just look that way. Just look into your own space. Because it is very, very, very important that people who side with the hatred at this moment, side with the fear-mongering, decide to feel emboldened because others are saying what they think other people are just too afraid to say. It's very important that we continue to make those people feel ashamed, feel isolated, because they can get company when they welcome others in mixed company. Make them feel ashamed, make them feel isolated, make them feel that they will continue to be on the wrong side of history. So, please keep doing that as much as you can. There's, now, Kermode Mail a couple of weeks ago. I know that a lot of people maybe went off them when they went to Apple, and I still listen, and I pay a bit extra, so I get the extra. So I can't recall if this was on the extra episode or the main episode. But basically, they actually had an email from someone about Adolescence, a TV show. And the email was the kind of thing where it was saying, this isn't right, that isn't right. And also, the same company wouldn't make this if it was a black lad at the centre of it. And what about knife crimes and all that? And Simon Mayo, with the help of one of the producers, apparently, as he acknowledged the next week, had a rebuttal for every single thing that person said. And that person was speaking from a place of ignorance, a place of emotion in some ways, but looking at the facts, the actual facts, and truth is still there. There are not alternative facts. There aren't. There are facts, factual facts, and there's truth, and there are lies. And that is getting harder to grasp onto at the moment, because we have at least one major world leader who will categorically lie until they're blue in the face, and they just expect everyone to believe that. And far too many people they're maybe not believing it consciously, but they're letting it slide. And now is not a time to let things slide. It just isn't. It's not. And I guess that's all I have to say before I lose us YouTube viewers and podcast listeners. Sorry, it started with me going on about how I didn't get anything through Letterboxd this week, and ended with me calling people to action to not let things slide and to do that. But please do, because people you know and love will be afraid just now, and confused, and some will be creating plans to start their life over somewhere else. And it's, if you don't know and love anyone that has any of those feelings, particularly in America, then that's because they haven't said anything to you. And that means you should do a little bit of work. Yay! That went longer than I thought, and most people will probably watch 30 seconds and switch off, so sorry about that. Anyway, I'm going to see Sinners tonight. The review will appear on my blog tomorrow, I'll put the link down below, because that will be perfect timing for a little casual promotion at the end of this video. That's it. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the days ahead and the weekend. I have some stuff coming up at the weekend that will make interesting content for the next video. There won't be any ranting, I don't think, and there may be some stuff that I get to show off. That's it. Apologies. Hashtag like and subscribe. Take care.